Langford, and it's time for What the Heck Wednesday. This week's What the Heck, I've brought in some reinforcement to answer questions about what the heck is military saves. Alecia Blair is an MS and an AFC candidate, a Finner Foundation Fellow, is the Director of Military Saves. She has been with the organization since 2014 and in the field of communications for more than 15 years. As a military spouse to an active duty Army soldier, Alecia understands the challenges of military life and feels deeply in the mission of military saves to help service members and their families save money, reduce debt, and build wealth. She joins us today to speak about the Military Saves Campaign and Military Saves Week, February 26th through March 3rd of 2018. Good morning, Alecia. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Lacey, for having me here today. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, I'm very grateful for you coming on because I want to bring in a subject matter expert when it comes to Military Saves Week. We're going to start with the basics. So what the heck is Military Saves Week?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you. But I think in order to understand Military Saves Week, it's actually really important to know a little bit about the Military Saves Campaign. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that first and then talk about Military Saves Week, if that's okay.
That sounds perfect.
Thank you. So the Military Saves Campaign is an initiative of America Saves, and we are a partner in the Department of Defense's Financial Readiness Program. The Military Saves Campaign is a research-based campaign that uses the principles of social marketing and behavioral economics to, we hope, motivate, support, and encourage military families to save money and build wealth. America Saves, kind of the larger campaign, and Military Saves is coordinated by the nonprofit Consumer Federation of America. Military Saves encourages all service members, their families, and civilian employees to take the Military Saves Pledge, and for our partner organizations to really promote savings year-round, and especially during Military Saves Week. I like to say that since 2003, Military Saves has motivated military families to save money, reduce debt, and build wealth. So Military Saves Week, usually the last week in February, is an annual opportunity for installations and organizations to promote that good savings behavior. And it's really a chance for service members and their families to stop, to hit the pause button on their busy lives, and to assess their own savings status. So Military Saves Week is worldwide, and we consider it a worldwide financial readiness celebration. Since 2007, more than 275,000 service members and their family members have taken the pledge to save money, reduce debt, and to build wealth. And every year, hundreds of installations and organizations from all over the world participate in Military Saves Week by hosting events that promote savings and financial readiness.
I think that's great. As a financial coach and counselor, I think a lot of times when it comes to saving, people aren't mindful about it. Just, in their everyday lives, it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. So I think this is a great opportunity for service members and their families to really be present and mindful when it comes to savings, to help remind them. So I think it's a really great program.
Absolutely. And you don't have to be a service member to participate in Military Saves Week, right? We have the larger campaign, America Saves Week, and I want to say since America Saves Week, I think they've had more than 530,000 or so savers take the pledge to save. So it's a really wonderful campaign and public awareness opportunity.
So this pledge, the pledge? Is it them saying what they're going to do, their goals? Tell me more about that.
Sure. So the pledge is actually pretty simple. The Military Saves Pledge says, and I quote, "I will help myself by saving money, reducing debt, and building wealth over time." Very, very simple. We have found with Military Saves, having adequate emergency savings is still a challenge for many, especially in the military, right? Military Saves believes that successful savings starts when service members set a goal with the Military Saves Pledge and make a plan to reach that goal. Why, you may ask? Because savers with a plan are twice as likely to save successfully for things like emergency savings. So, and that's really what the Military Saves Pledge is. It's a simple savings plan to kind of get that ball rolling. And again, since 2007, we've had more than 275,000 service members and their family take the pledge, which I think is incredible to have folks stop and really think about their own saving status and what their goals are short term and long term.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's a lot of lives changed by, getting in a healthy habit of saving money. So I think, I mean, between America Saves and Military Saves, that's a lot of lives and family, just not individuals, but families' lives changed. So I think that's good that they are, I mean, I was going to ask, kind of what's in it? Like, is there any incentive other than, for themselves? But I think that that is enough in itself to, have that money when they need it.
Yes, definitely. But there are some benefits to taking the pledge, and I can certainly tell you a little bit about that if you'd like me to dive into that. Okay.
Yes,
So there are some benefits I think that come with taking the pledge. First, when you take the Military Saves Pledge, the pledge itself is really a tool to help set savings goals. And that pledge is found on our website, militarysaves.org. In addition to the pledge, though, we are encouraging our savers to stay motivated and informed by following the Military Saves social media community. So when they take that pledge, they're kind of welcomed into this savings community. The third, I think, benefit is that they will receive motivational and educational communications to help them stay on track with their savings goals. And then they're also welcome to participate in Military Saves Week, which again is an annual opportunity to assess their savings goals and to take action. It's really a call to action week. In addition to that, when they take the pledge, they can also opt in to receive goal-specific text message tips and reminders to help them stay on track with their savings goals. They can read up on the latest on our Military Saves blog, which has a lot of great information from our partners in the financial readiness realm. And then lastly, taking the pledge during Military Saves Week, they can follow the prompts in that pledge to receive their free MyFICO credit score through the FINRA Educational Foundation. So that's a really great benefit in and of itself.
Yes, I agree. A lot of people don't know their current financial picture. And I mean, when you're thinking about savings, you really do need to know your whole game plan there, what you have going on, before making that step. So I think that's a great, or when you're making that step. So I think that's a major benefit. Can couples and families take the pledge together, or is it just an individual process?
Well, it's absolutely. I mean, they can. They would still go through the website the same way. They can take the pledge separately or together as a family, and you can revisit that pledge every year and make your commitment to save money by taking the pledge at militarysaves.org. It can certainly be a family commitment. I think it's pretty important to come together as a family to decide on short-term and long-term goals, especially if let's say you want to take a vacation after a PCS or, during a PCS or after a deployment. Those are goals you can set together as a family and work towards during that deployment.
Okay. Yeah, that's really great. I think, if it's good if everybody's on board, it's like a team effort. So I think that that's great that they can, individually make the pledge, but as a whole work on it together. So I think that's good. What would you say to a service member or an individual that's on the fence about making the pledge or getting involved with Military Saves Week to encourage them?
Well, I would tell service members, look at the other 275,000 service members that have taken the pledge since this all began, and to really let Military Saves help them set their goals and to stay motivated to achieve them, to join the crowd, that this is a really great movement, and that we can help them achieve their goals.
Yes, I think it's great that you all are doing the text messaging. I think with the younger population of service members, that is, always with them, easy access to that. And, each day, throughout the day, having that motivation, I think is a key part of continuing to save. So I think that's
I agree. I think we all have our smartphones on us most of the time.
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes.
And service members specifically, have access to their phones quite a bit. So I think the text messaging is very helpful. And we do align those when they get their paychecks, when they get their leave and earning statements, so they can kind of check those against the goals that they're setting to see if they are meeting their goals.
That's great accountability
Mhm.
and staying on track. I just think that that's so important to continue to make your goal successful.
Yeah, I guess you could kind of think of military saves as sort of like your personal financial coach,
Yeah.
to kind of cheer you on and say, are you saving that $50, towards your TSP or towards your emergency savings this week?
Yeah, it keeps it definitely current and on the mind if it's coming in right there on their phones. I think that's great. Well, do you
Absolutely.
have any like a certain like a success story that you've really enjoyed that you could share with us?
Sure, sure. So each year, right, we receive hundreds of photos of service members and their families assessing their saving status during Military Saves Week and taking the pledge and all of that. And that's very, very exciting. But I think the best success story that I've experienced is probably a personal one. Having worked with Military Saves since 2014, being in this environment has really encouraged my family and I to regularly assess our saving status and work towards goals together, such as building up our emergency fund, increasing our savings for retirement, or working towards our children's college education savings. So I'd say having healthy emergency and transition funds has helped us survive the 9 PCS moves and 4 deployments with a lot less financial stress. There's still stress in deployment. There's still a lot of stress with PCS moves and getting children acclimated to new schools and all of that. But when you have that cash on hand to pay for car deductibles and home repairs and emergency airfare and PCS moves up front, that really reduces the stress a lot, saves us a lot of money, from having to take out a credit card and paying interest on that credit card, and saves our sanity. So I can't stress enough the importance of having emergency and transition funds with service members. And I'd say, again, the success story that I've seen is probably a personal one, that I can certainly take from Military Saves Week. And I know that our situation is happening, around the world during Military Saves Week.
Yeah, that's a really good point because having like that extra surplus of cash or savings really allows you to pivot. And I think with the military lifestyle, you will constantly be in transition, and having savings really kind of gives you the freedom to make decisions more easily and quicker. So I
Yes.
think that's a very good point. Like that is really truly success story. Like being able to have that money, especially in the military. So I
And
think that's
you don't have to start with, I know when people think about, oh, you want to try to have, let's say, $1,000 in an emergency fund, right? Or
right.
even just enough to cover a deductible if you were to get into a car accident. That may seem like a large amount of money up front. I would stress to people, start small and think big. You can start by
Right.
saving $25 a month and work your way up to that emergency fund. And when you have it, it is freeing. You absolutely hit the nail on the head, Lacey. It is freeing financially to have that money available to you to be able to make, those changes more easily. Because if there's one thing that's a constant in the military, it is change.
Yes, yeah, that will come no matter, it's not if, it's when. So,
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly.
Um, okay, well, where can, this has been a lot of great information, but if people want to research it further, where can they find more information about Military
Sure.
Safe Week?
Sure. So Military Saves Week 2018, again, is coming up. It kicks off our campaign year every year. It's Monday, February 26th through Saturday, March 3rd. You can visit us on militarysaves.org or follow us on Twitter or like us on Facebook at Military Saves. And you can also email us for more information at info@militarysaves.org. Again, I'd encourage service members, their families in the military community to take the pledge at militarysaves.org. And for organizations and installations who may be tuning in, to sign up to participate in the week on militarysaves.org.
Well, Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank
So
you.
this was What the Heck Wednesday, and to tell you what the heck Military Saves Week is. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, Lacey.